All righty, what is going on, ladies and gents? Welcome back to the channel for another market update. Hope everybody is having a lovely Halloween. And with that being said, into the TA. All right, guys, so pretty exciting stuff going on right here. So we did know it was an uncertain week. We did know VIX looked like it was getting ready to pop yesterday. But again, uncertainty was the theme of this week. We did not know how these big tech earnings were going to go. We had many charts set up to go either direction, and I do think we have a decision. All right, so we're going to kick it off here with VIX's daily chart. And I am, oh, look at that. Look at that. We're not going to check on that right now. It's all good. But yeah, guys, VIX is in this little cup and handle pattern. And, you know, people say you can't do TA and VIX. I'd say, you know, this thing was very nicely consolidating. You're very clearly respecting levels. I think you very clearly could do TA on Mr. VIX over here. All right. So we are going to be talking about such. And, you know, if this was the, you know, one of the four major indices or an individual ticker, I would 100% be saying, hey, this looks like it very well could pop here. You have a nice cup and handle pattern going on. And hey, over 23.14, I do think, you know, we could get a decent sized pop here. Let's look at it this way. All right. If we're just going to measure this guy right here, just a handle of the pattern, that brings us up to 30 bucks. I'm not saying that's going to happen. We do have the election next week. And, you know, with how things just turned out off of these big tech earnings this week, it's not looking the best. All right. And, you know, I just want to remind everyone, it was an uncertain week. The theme of this week was uncertainty. The theme of last week was uncertainty. Why? Because we're going into the big tech earnings week. And then, you know, we have elections next week. Guys, we have a lot of catalysts here. Here, we have no idea how these things are going to go. No idea. All right. So it is definitely a risk-off environment. And, you know, I hope you guys are managing your risk well. And I hope you guys are doing well in this market. Maybe you're choosing not to trade it. All right. I hope you guys are doing well with it. But just understand, all right, there are times when things are not going to respect TA. They are just not. And this was a week that we very much so knew that, you know, over here on QQQ's weekly time frame, we had two back-to-back doji candlesticks. Like, even the TA was suggesting uncertainty. I don't know how some people really don't get that. You know, I understand the people, you know, roasting me are probably just people who are inexperienced and don't understand these things. But at the end of the day, we definitely said it was uncertain. And we said that QQQ, if it comes back down here, you're going to have this weekly 9 over here. All right. And then what did we also point out as soon as we saw it? You had this channel. All right. Breakdown from the channel. I don't know what to tell you. All right. Guys, we are traders. We react to price. All right. Please do not be an emotional mess in my comment section and blame me for something you did. It is not my fault that it looks like, you know, we're getting ready to launch here. And oh, it's the uncertain week. And oh, you break down from this. And oh, you die. All right. People get mad. I understand that. It is your job as a trader to manage risk and then to go with the moves that you are given. It is not your job as a trader just to predict your butt off. All right. You make the predictions and then you see a signal and then you act on that signal. Right here, you broke down. And there is nothing I can do about that. I apologize. It is what it is. All right. So I am going to point out here over here on QQQ. Now we talked about Mr. VIX's daily chart over there. You did end up breaking down from that channel. You are right here in the golden pocket. You came down. You did find, you know, buyers off of our support over here. We're going to, you know, just take that off right there. All right. So we did get buyers trying to defend over here. You had a little bullish divergence going on over here. You know, this kind of makes me think we're going to get a pop. Followed by a drop. I don't think this drop is over. What we just saw, I don't think it's over. I'm just going to make that kind of clear here. But I am going to point out we could see a little dead cat bounce here. All right. But yeah, you break down from here. You're coming down here. And guys, if you can't hold 482.50, the 0.786 fib right there, probably got a date down here with 477.40. And that is not what people want to hear, but that is, you know, what is on the table here. And again, I'm just going to give another reminder to what I just said, because I literally have said it like 10 freaking times for the past, like, you know, 5 to 10 videos I've made. It is an uncertain market right now. This week is full of uncertainty. It is not a risk-on environment. I don't know how much clearer I could be with it. People are going to be dumb. People are going to be dumb. All right? And I'm not calling people dumb. I'm calling their actions dumb. They're just ridiculous and, baby-like. But here we are, guys. Break under 482.50. You have 477.40 on the table. Break under there, guys. You probably are going to come down here and test this 0.786 fib around 468.618 fib. I think I just said 0.786 fib. 0.618 fib at 468.50. All right. So that is going to be a big slide that could potentially scare a lot of people. Now, guys, go follow me over on the Twitter. The link is down below. All right. I may not nail everything, but I will post and repost about information that I think is valid. My buddy John over on Twitter last night, posted about how we could have, 2 or 3 limit down candlesticks, just like he had seen, 2 other times throughout his trading career. Back in, I think it was 2015, he was pointing out. Well, we certainly got the limit down with absolutely no bounce today. And as you see, it was just, it was one of those days, guys. It was one of those days where you just kept selling and you got apps. You didn't even get this thing. All right. Which makes me think we're probably going to be getting it tomorrow morning. But at the end of the day, I really don't know how that's going to play out. I don't know. All right. But I can, just point to, you got this guy sitting over here. You got this guy sitting over here. What happened over here? All right. Let's just look at, previous, history over here. What happened then? What happened then? All right. You opened up right here. You went a little lower, it looks like. All right. You open up literally right here. You went a little lower. Okay. That's not a little bit lower. That's a decent amount lower there. You went lower, 1.73% lower. And then you started that bounce. Okay. Yeah, limit down, guys. I think John was onto something there. I'm going to be completely honest. It does look like on the daily time frame that thing could just continue dropping. All right, drop like a rock there. Okay, so that's definitely something to keep in mind here. This daily chart does not suggest you're just going to get buyers stepping in out of nowhere. I know you're in the golden pocket. But, we're going to finish up talking about support and resistance here, and then we're going to talk about SPY, and I'm going to show you why I think, it is very likely that we are going to be continuing lower over the next few trading sessions. We do have the election next week, all right? But I did already, show that VIX chart. I showed it yesterday. Again, I'm not responsible for other people. I really ain't. I can feel bad about other people, but, when you sit there just kind of trying to make me feel bad, yeah, I look at you as an idiot. All right, because most of the people doing that are just butthurt because they put on too much size and, something that they had no idea was coming. And it is what it is. I didn't know it was coming. You didn't know it was coming. Why do you think I've been hammering the table on this? We don't know. We don't know. This week was going to be insane. Little did we know the big tech earnings were going to bring the markets down. All right, not up. All right, guys. So support on QQQ. You got 485.05 right here. If you open above it, that's going to be acting as support there. Underneath there, we're watching the 0.786 at 482.50. And then underneath there, 477.40 is your next support. That is a low from over here. And then underneath there, you have 468.50. All right. As resistance on the upside, we have 489.44. Above there, 493.85, 496.49, and 498.83. We're not going to talk about the upper ones because, guys, we got a lot of work to do over on this chart to turn things around. All right. But, I'm just going to remind everyone, guys, things don't go straight up or straight down. The fact that this got over here tells us this is probably going to be a buying opportunity. People are thinking the August low is going to come. I am just going to tell you right now, you're going to need to put in different structure for that to happen. And, this is what I was saying before about, guys, we are freaking traders. We are reacting to what we are given. Okay? Okay, guys? Price is up here. We don't know if it's going to go straight up there, but you get a pullback. We know it got up here. It passed the 0.786 fib. This dip is probably going to be a buying opportunity. Then you got charts like NVDA, which I'm going to point out later. I got some trade ideas for us to pay attention to at the end of the video. But, NVIDIA is really the only thing I am personally interested in right now. And then Goog, I'm going to point out where I'm interested in over there. You know, everything else is looking pretty ugly. But if we're going to get all the way back down here, like, guys, you're going to need to do something like this first. I don't know how people don't understand this. Like, you don't just fall straight down. Like, you can. All right. You see how you're in a massive rip? You see how you didn't go straight to that low? Okay. The bearish scenario here was you go here, I'm going to point out where you stalled out at, literally at the 0.786 fib over here. All right. Literally right here. That was your bearish scenario. All right. And then you can go down to a new low. Or maybe you do something like this. You make everyone uncertain. Maybe it's going to be a higher low. Who knows? And then boom, you do something like that. You need to create the bearish structure. We don't have that. We have the bullish structure. So I want everyone who's just clowning on me, just understand. We're going over a daily chart. If you want to trade intraday with me and you can nail things that way, intraday, where we, you know, almost always get that daily bias right. We get at least one solid 25 to 50 point trade each day. I'm just going to let you know. Link is down below. But like, guys, we're reviewing daily charts right here. Okay? Things take time. It is what it is. We have bullish structure, and there's no denying that. If you fail right here to hold this 0.786 fib, you're probably come down here. If you don't hold there, you're probably come down here. This is where you have the chance to create the bearish structure. You're going to find buyers, probably find buyers either here or you find them here. You go something like that. This is the bear scenario. All right. This straight up. This is the only bear scenario we got. We're not just going to fall off a freaking cliff here. All right. If you think we're just going to do that, you know, again, like, you know, that was $36 addition to what we already have, guys. That's a $50 straight move down. It can happen. All right. It can. It's happened before. But, you know, to think we're going to come all the way down here right away makes absolutely no sense. And then guess what happens from here? If you hold the low, you're open to both possibilities. If you don't hold the low, then you look for your dead cat bounce. I don't know where it's going to be to. And then you look for the lows to be hit. So if you think you're just going to die over here, and you think this isn't going to be bought up, I think you're very mistaken, because that is not how the charts work. Guaranteed. All right. And if you think that's how the charts work, I promise you just do not have enough screen time, because I've been looking at these same tickers for 3 to 4 years doing these videos. Well, the videos have been for like 2 years, but you know, I've been analyzing these tickers like this for 3 to 4 years, and they don't just crash unless you have a crash. All right. So keep that one in mind, guys, please. But VIX definitely looks like it could spike. I think we could honestly get back down here. All right. So there's something to keep in mind. In order to get short-term bearish, you are going to want to get above that daily 9. And until that happens, hey, bear territory. We're also underneath the daily 21 EMA. As you can see, it's supported price over here. You found buyers right off of that, as well as your 0.618 fib over here. What happened then? You had a bounce to new high. Now you're like, we have a neutral trend here. Let's look at it that way. You literally do have a higher high followed by a lower low. You know, it's a neutral trend. Like, people are just, you know, panic. I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you. You weren't prepared. That is that. But, you know, nothing's terribly wrong with these charts. I'm just saying. That's that. That's what we're looking over on QQQ. Coming down to SPY. What are we watching, guys? This is the one that I don't think looks good at all. All right. You were holding up on this daily 21 EMA right there. As you see, things got pretty tight. We're consolidating. Again, the uncertainty was extremely obvious. And, you know, it's not the person who is telling you is extremely obvious that this market is uncertain and this is a risk-off week. It's not that that guy's problem that you decided to take a gamble and you lost on the gamble. All right? So I'm talking to the haters. I'm talking to the people who try and bring me down, because in reality, I do everything I possibly can on this channel to set people up for success, and it's not my fault if people do not use the tools I very clearly give them. It's not my fault. I'm sorry. I do definitely do my best over here on the channel, and it does break my heart. It pisses me off so much when I see people just absolutely take a dump on me, because, guys, I have no ill intent. I have no ill intent. Okay? What I will point out here, lower high, unlike QQQ, lower high, followed by lower low. Also lost the daily 21. Also lost the 0.786 fib, which was our 569.80 support right here that we had to hold. That was from this high right over here. You did not hold that. That's where you broke up from. Hit it with the break and retest right there. But yeah, guys, I mean, it looks like you're coming lower. It looks like you're going to be revisiting 565.16 in the short term. And, you know, I can't tell you how high this dead cat bounce is going to go. We're going to come on the 15-minute time frame. And we're going to point out, you know, some spots here. All right, we're going to be watching right here, okay? 571.70, that is going to be, you know, a confluence spot over there for sellers. But, you know, in reality, this spot right here, 574.71 to this high right over here, 573.36, that is what we should be paying attention to on this dead cat bounce if we get it. I'm not saying it comes, but that is very clearly a break and retest off of the spot that I personally thought was going to hold. Again, prediction, it is your job to react to price. We go over many bearish and bullish scenarios every video. I don't know what people don't get about these things. I really don't. So I'm again just going to say, I think you just don't have enough screen time. And maybe you're not watching the video fully through. Maybe you just, you know, come on here and you hear me sound all bullish or all bearish. And then, you know, you think that's all we talk about in the video. No, there is extreme detail in these videos. And it really does sicken me when I see people in the comment section just there's no other reason to leave these comments other than you are trying to hate on this guy. You are trying to bring him down. You are trying to be a piece of shit. All right. So I'm sorry you feel like that, but I don't want to feel like a piece of shit. So please don't do that. All right. I'm probably going to argue with you if you try arguing with me. So, you know, just don't try. All right. Constructive criticism is different from telling someone, oh, this guy's wrong. Just do the opposite of him. That pisses me off. Please refrain. Okay. But, you know, right there, guys, if we do start bouncing, we're going to be watching 571.70 and then above there, 573.36 and then 574.71. Now, if we do get back above, this is also going to be a nice confluence spot over here at 578.54. And if we have a big dead cat bounce, that is also going to align with the golden pocket. All right. So that's really what we're paying attention on the downside. But as I pointed out here on the daily time frame, this thing looks like garbage and it's ugly. Okay. You just lost your 0.786 fib. You're probably going to have 100% retracement and revisit this 565.16 level. That was where you broke out from. We hit it with the break and retest. Psych, we missed it by, I think it was like 50 cents or something. The low was 27. We missed it by 11 cents, not 50 cents. Pretty crazy, all right? But I imagine that is probably going to be tested now. Now, let's just say you have a full-on retracement here. What are we going to be looking for, guys? All right? And, you know, it didn't happen over here on SPY, but QQQ, all right? Where did you find buyers? Come on, Magnet. Don't do your thing right now. Right there, all right? So let's just see if that is going to be the case again. You found buyers right here at the golden pocket. Let's see if you found buyers right here at the golden pocket, but back over here to SPY. Golden pocket aligns with this support right here, 554.98. So that is, you know, ultimately what I'm watching for on the downside here. If this thing wants to, you know, have those few, you know, 2 to 3 limit down days, all right, that, I mentioned. And again, you know, follow the Twitter guys. All right. If I see something, I'll say something. Okay. I really have no ill intent. I only wish to, you know, grow my name and provide as much free value as possible. There's literally no incentive for me to, you know, do anything other than that. That's that. But yeah, guys, on the downside, now we lost 569.80, we have 565.16, 560.83, which is the low from over here, and then under there you have the 0.618 fib, the golden pocket starting at 557.25, and then under there, I think this is the support. This is the level that really stands out to me. Like, you can take it a step further and just bring it over there. And now you have a crap ton of confluence going on here. All right. So that's really what we're going to be paying attention to. Yeah, I guess we'll just keep it at that level, guys. We have a lot of reactions off of there. That is probably going to be something that respected. There's probably, you know, liquidity going to be sitting down there and probably gives us a little bounce if we get down there. All right. So that's what I'm guessing. I don't know what's going to happen on book maps, but, you know, again, get down there. I think it's probably going to pop up. All right. So that's what we're watching over there on the downside in SPY. On the upside, though, on this dead cat bounce, we kind of started over here on the 15-minute time frame. You know, guys, right here. All right. Well, we'll just mark out the little range you had going on here. All right. So the bottom of today's, little bear flag looking range over here was 570.08. And then above there, you had 571.70. So, get above 571.70. You have a chance of testing this 573.36 to 574.71 zone. And as I pointed out, but deleted now, golden pocket. All right. If we just start straight up bouncing from here, because we do definitely have, we have this bullish divergence over here on QQQ and SPY. It would not surprise me to get that dead cat bounce. But again, things are looking pretty ugly. So I don't think it's just going to fall and recover. And, big tech earnings did not save the market. I think we're going to have a larger pullback here. So there we go. And what was the purpose of getting risk off, guys? Oh, because we didn't know if the thing was going to be moving down or up. We did not know it was going to happen with a big move. And then we're going to get, confirmation that that move was happening. Now is that confirmation. There's nothing I could do about these things other than warn you guys in advance. All right. I'm sorry I'm getting pressed about that, but, it really does just sicken me to see people come on here after, I do try and do as best as I can over here, pointing out every possible scenario so you guys are like just ready for the next day. And people just don't care. People just don't. Well, I'm not going to say that. 99.9% of people out there are great people. But then there's like 5 out of 2,000 people that's just a piece of crap. All right. So there we go. Dead cat bounce time. Could happen. Could not happen. But if it happens, short opportunity / get out of your belongs to your bag holding opportunity. There you go. Those are the thoughts over here in SPY. All right. I do think we continue lower in the end. Now, IWM, this is another thing that doesn't give me confidence over here in the upside. All right. I took my loss over here on IWM today. I could have taken freaking 30 to 40% profits. I did not. I was expecting a little pullback here. I thought it was going to go exactly like this. I'll just point it out. All right. I saw this. I thought, well, then I also saw this. Then I thought it would be something like that. Something like that. You did not get that. You did not get that. I will be transparent there. You completely faded this. And you broke down from this giant rising wedge pattern. And, things aren't looking the best. And if I had to guess, guys, we're probably actually going to be revisiting this low over here. All right. So I'm going to keep that as support. All right. But, in terms of the whole thing, you have this going on right there. You're coming right down to, let's just take that off right there. All right. Golden pocket from, that move down, golden pocket. And now, you already found buyers here once. Let's see if you find them again, but it doesn't look at all like you're going to get them. So break under 217.37. We're going to be looking for 215.08. After that, what are we going to be paying attention to for the next bounce? And, it could be a dead cat bounce with how things are looking. We don't freaking know. All right. But what we do know is this is the next spot that we probably find buyers in. All right. And, a level that stands out to me, it's right there, that 0.786 fib down there. Then what are you going to have? You're going to have your gap fill right there. So we're going to make this a little green one right there. All right. So on the downside, support is 217.37. Under there, we look for 215.08. Under there, we look for 212.78 gap fill right here. Under there, line in the sand for buyers, 209.25. If you cannot hold that, we have a date with all the way down here. And at that point, I think that is going to hold. Why? Because you will have, you could literally see something like this. I don't know how this is going to go. All right. But if you do somehow get all the way back down there, I imagine you're going to sweep these lows and then bounce off of that and then start, something constructive here for a bounce. And then, maybe we retrace this whole move. All right, guys, this is what I was saying in the beginning of the video. We don't just make blatant freaking calls out here. All right. We cover market structure in freaking detail and the paths that it could potentially take in detail. You see something break. Something is coming next. Okay? That is like literally the goal of these videos. Okay? Above here, you can test here. You can retest this rising wedge pattern. But guess what? Under here, you're probably coming down here. That is the basis of these videos, is we cover both scenarios on everything. I don't know why people can't see that. All right? So look for some downside over here on IWM. That's the bias over here. Break 217.37, 215.08 probably comes decently quick. You had increasing volume on these big fat red bars today on SPY QQ, IWM, DIA. I have to assume we are going to see continuation tomorrow. You have to assume it. All right. And maybe we get a little flat day over there and then you continue over the next day. No idea how it's going to shape up. We're looking for more downside. As resistance on the upside, let's say we just get a straight up dead cat bounce. What are we going to be paying attention to? I'm going to delete this zone right here. We're going to literally just be watching right over here. All right. So 218.53 and then 219.98. But again, guys, you did end up breaking down from the rising wedge. So I do have to assume you're probably going to be getting some more downside. You know, I took it off the chart, but we did definitely point out that there was a rising wedge over here on SPY. All right. And it was right there. And things were, you know, looking like you didn't know what was going to happen. But then we started breaking down right here. And what did we do? We pointed it out. We pointed it out. Doesn't matter, though. Or was it right here? One of these rising wedges we had on our charts. And I know for a fact they pointed out. Like, this is what I'm saying. People they just don't watch the videos if they're hating. They don't. They don't. Because you very clearly had me pointing out that I think it was this one right here I had drawn. All right. And what happened? Did I forget about it? I didn't forget about it. I kept it in the back of my mind because I didn't want to push it to the front of my mind. Because I did have that bullish bias. I wanted to see this thing go up. But guess what? We also called it out. And it kind of is looking picture perfect. You broke down, got buyers off of here, break and retest, went back up for the lower high there, and then came down to a new low. This is honestly a sexy chart. It's a bearish chart, but it's a sexy chart. I'm liking it. All right, so we went over IWM, SPY, QQQ, VIX. DIA is next, guys. We did end up, you know, I pointed this out in yesterday's video. We have, you know, 3 candles of rejection over here on the daily time frame off of that daily 9 EMA. That is never the best sign. All right, you want to see buyers off there if you're gonna, you know, be holding there, and then when you come under it and test it, you want to get back above it. You weren't getting back above it, all right? You just got rejection 3 times in a row over here, and you consolidated, all right? And now you're breaking down from that. So I'm just saying, I have to assume we're probably going to be coming down into this next golden pocket over here on DIA, which is going to be down starting at 413.30. The level that really stands out to me is going to be right here, all right? Like we could, yeah, we're going to use that level, 410.13. 410.13 is tested. That is going to be a spot that I like. If the daily RSI is near oversold territory when we're down there, that is wherever, you know, I'm just going to put the alert right here. All right, we're going to do that. We're going to do that. All right, we'll do it ahead of time right now. Right now, ladies and gents. Right there. Where is it? Come on. Oh my God, it's not going to show me. There we go. Sometimes it doesn't let me drag these things. I don't know why. All right, so if that alert gets hit and price is either here or here, downside is limited, I'm going to start looking for long setups over there on YM. And that's just me. All right, so now let's talk about them. Tesla, the big boys, the FANG stonks. Down here at the daily 9. We know this pullback is very likely going to be a buying opportunity. Why? Because you had a lower high over here compared to over here. And then what do you have? You had a higher low compared to over here. And then that was followed by the higher high. Daily time frame is in an uptrend technically, and we are looking for buyers to step in somewhere over here for a higher low followed by a higher high. If Trump wins the election, this thing is probably going to go to 300 bucks. Probably going to go higher than 300 bucks. That is all I really have to say about that. Okay? But you know, you're right here. Why do I always do that? It's because I always got to do this. All right, so you're right here at the daily 9, as well as your 249, 250.96 support over here. Underneath there, you have 240.265 gap support. And then we're going to have the golden pocket to pay attention to underneath there, which is 225 to 235.50. I don't know which one of these is going to hold. I am just assuming one is going to hold. And I am personally going to take some December calls if we get somewhere down here. I like, you know, I'm just saying, if Trump does get elected, this thing is very likely going to push like straight up, like very quick. It's going to be a hype train. That will be that. All right. On the upside is resistance. You have 264.86 and 271. Apple. All All right. Star of today's show. Well, one of two. All right. There's a bearish mover on today's show. You broke down from the rising wedge yesterday. And what happened now? You started having another continuation candlestick to the downside, and now you're getting a gap down. This was your bearish signal over here. And now, guys, what are we going to be paying attention to? You got your golden pocket right here, and 221.33 support is right here. If you cannot hold here, we watch 219. If you cannot hold there, we watch 213.92. It is very simple. Okay, you have 221.33 support. I do have to assume you're probably going to sweep these lows. If you come back, if you open up around here, you're probably going to sweep this low. Maybe you find buyers right after sweeping that low, but you're probably going to, go grab that. Okay, you're going to grab the liquidity down there at that low. All right, anyone sitting down there, you're going to grab them. And then you're probably going to get a bounce. Probably, I can't tell you if it's going to be dead cat bounce. I have no idea. But, we'd be looking for something like that. All right, if this bearish trend is just going to continue. And, either that or we're going to start something constructive like that. All right. We don't know what's going to happen yet, but we can see prices down here. We're going to expect buyers down here right around this 221.33 level. And then after that bounces up, hey, caution is warranted on that because we do have that bearish structure if you take out that low. There you go. Well, you have potential for it. You have potential for a lower high followed by the lower low, and then you do. All right. Amazon, what do we got going over here, guys? Are we going to hit that 200 wall? Are we going to do it? I don't know. I really don't know, guys. I don't know what's going to happen with it, but I could tell you right now, you're gapping up above resistance right now. And we know that 200 wall is there. You also got this inverse head and shoulders pattern, and I do have to assume this thing is going to be running to that 200 wall. I think it's coming. All right, so yeah, there's a prediction for you. But now let's go over support. Right there. All right. Support 195.37, 189.93. Underneath there, you're going to be watching the golden pocket. All right. I don't know where this is going to top out at, wherever it is, but it's going to be somewhere down here between, 184 to 187 ish, probably. And that is if you start pulling back. If you start pushing up, all right, you're going to have 197.96 resistance, and above there, you really don't have much, right? This was your little, your range before you start break it down. So this is where, you come into it. Maybe you trade a little sideways. All right. All right. We'll see how this goes. We will see how it goes. We don't know. Okay. Right now, the fact that this thing is, doing this, I have a feeling this thing might have a mind of its own. All right. Over the coming trading sessions. We will see. We will see. Goog. Now, this is one that I am focused on right now. All right. You had this nice inverse head and shoulders pattern. You had this nice breakout from that bull flag. Now you're coming back into the neckline. You stalled right at the 0.786 fib, guys. We aren't going to talk about things that don't work. Golden pocket is a nice tool for you to keep in your tool belt. There you go. On the fly. Stalled right at the 0.786 fib. You dropped under 175.91 support today. And the rest is history, guys. You were probably coming down here. And once you were down here, we're going to look for buyers to start stepping back in. And either way, if it's going to be there or slightly, yes, slightly lower. By that, I mean, how much lower, guys? It could be 50 cents to $1 lower. Okay. We are expecting buyers to step in at least for that dead cat bounce. All right. So there's definitely a playable move over here, a long move over here. No matter what the market is doing, this is a chart that I really freaking like. I do. So I'm going to be looking forward to it. And you can do what you will with that info. All right. I think I already have the alert down there. Yeah. I'll set another one just so I can get ready. Right. The first one is like, get ready. Second one is like, it's here. There you go. There you go. Start watching right now. Wait for your entry. All right. So that is Goog over there. Microsoft, big, ugly guy over here. All right. What was it? Double top scenario. What do we get, guys? Double top scenario. This is actually what we talked about. It was over on Twitter. Okay. It was over on the Twitter. All right. I don't have it pulled up right now. We're not going to go look on it. But if you want to go look up at HJ Charts and then type in MSFT right next to it in the search bar, you're going to see my post pop up. And it was a line chart. And this is what I'm saying. I mean, I don't understand. How are people angry? We nailed so many calls on this. I don't understand. On so many different tickers here. And they are liquid tickers. They are the most active stocks. They're not leaving you high and dry over here. All right. One of the scenarios was double top. I did think you were going to come up here to 440. You didn't exactly come all the way up there. I don't think so. You got really close. You got like 439 over there. But yeah, one of the scenarios was you double topped and made like either an equal high over here or a lower high, and then you fell down. And then the other scenario was you popped your head above here and you made the higher high, and then we come down for the higher low, and then that falls by another higher high. Both scenarios, okay? Again, we cover both scenarios. I don't know why people don't understand that. I really don't. But again, I think they're just inexperienced people. And, you know, at that point, if they're going to call me stupid, I'm going to light you up. All right? I hate that shit. Hate it. All right? Right here, guys, you did end up losing your support. Okay? Daily RSI, we're going to be paying attention to that thing. Getting oversold. I'm going to put another alert like I just did over there. Like I did on DIA crossing. All right, we're gonna do 30. Do 32 on that one. All right, 32 right there. So when that gets hit, I'm gonna start looking for buyers to step in over here. Once we get the first initial buy day, once that gets hit over there, which actually let's just see what do you get down to over here? 34, 33. I hate you, Microsoft. We'll put you a little lower. A little higher. 33.80. All right. Either way, guys, I'm pretty sure downside is limited over here, but I will definitely point out you got this, very clear as day head and shoulders pattern over here that just broke down today. So I do have to assume we get more downside. All right. I'm not saying we don't get more downside right now. I think we probably, maybe you get a little dead cat bounce like that. Maybe the market has a dead cat bounce and then you continue lower into next week. All right, could go something like that. Could bounce that RSI up like that and then bring it down into oversold territory. That would allow price to get a little lower. Maybe you get a little retest over here. You don't take out the high from today's candlestick, and then you come down lower. That'll give it some room on this daily RSI, so you don't just get immediately oversold. If you get immediately oversold, we're gonna be looking for buyers. We're gonna at least look for a dead cat bounce. But it could be a decent dead cat bounce. It has happened for years and years, and that's just what we're going to point out. All right, but very clear, not inverse, just normal head and shoulders top pattern right here. You broke down today, okay? Broke under 408.17 support. The next support you're really going to be paying attention to is going to be down at 480, and we're going to have the August low. August 5th low at 385.58. When everyone thought the market was crashing, you had a massive down day over here across the board. Can that day happen again? It can. But I'm just going to say, I don't think sellers want to take you down. I don't think they really want to get you down bad. I don't think they do. The market has given them plenty of chances over the past few months. And every time I hear screaming and shouting about the market crash on Twitter, it doesn't happen. Okay? Not happen. So, guys, that is what we're looking over on Microsoft, guys. Dead cat bounce could happen. Expect that to be sold. And that is that. Meta, what do you got over here, guys? I do have to assume this low over here is going to be taken out. All right. I'm actually, these levels are being respected. I just want a clean chart, guys. I'm sorry. I want the clean chart. We're going to make it so we have a clean chart here. We're going to put on some new levels. I like that one. It was the same level. Dang it. Dang it. All right. We just had to delete the top ones. All right. Fresh chart. We wound up with the same exact result. It's okay. All right, guys. So resistance is going to be 568.73 above there. All right. Boom, 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 boom. Right. I swear to gosh, we literally just put on the same exact low. Oh my gosh, we did. All right. If you get your bounce, look for sellers off of 574.03 and then 581.61. On the downside, as support, What do you have, guys? What do you have? 562.35, 554.19, 542.81. Guys, what just happened? I think we're going to get a major buying opportunity over here on Meta. Like, you know, there are some names over here on this pullback that I think it's going to be time to put on some risk. It's going to be risk on environment. All right. That's how I'm going to take that approach. We're going to buy some time. We're going to have a good time. And yeah, all right. It's like, this is why I was reminding everyone, risk off environment. You want to have a good time? Don't gamble. Easy as that. Easy as that. Don't put yourself in an uncertain situation. Don't do it. Okay. If you're not confident on it, don't do it, or size down. You know, I saw a post the other day. He was, you know, pretty much, he was flaming people for even, you know, just sizing down on the setups you're uncertain about. If you're uncertain about them, just don't even take them. Yeah, I got to kind of agree with that. All right. And that was kind of, you know, I was not taking that approach this week. I was definitely just trying to keep the size down and risk off. But I did take setups, and, you know, I knew it was an uncertain week. I still took stuff. It is what it is. It is what it is. All right, guys. So now 562.35. That is the level to hold. If you can't hold there, guys, you are going to have your first real low over here, like swing low. And I do have to assume the mission, the journey down to 542.81 has commenced. All right. So that's what I'm going to be paying attention to. If we start, you know, just seeing a straight move down here, just know Meta is worth $560. A 1% move is $5.50 right now. 2% move brings you, you know, like this right here, guys, is only 4% away. 2% move brings you over $10 down. So, yeah, I know things seem scary, but again, if you were just following along with what we were talking about on the channel, you wouldn't be in the worst spot. And we're about to have a massive buying opportunity. We've been talking about this for too long now. We're about to have a massive buying opportunity. If you pull back into here and you don't find buyers, I'm going to be freaking flabbergasted. You got the 0.618 fib down here. You have your break and retest level on the weekly chart. And what was that break and retest for, guys? It was for 2/3 of a year of consolidation. You come down here, you expect everyone, their mother, to start buying. All right, that's what I'm going to be paying attention to. I'm really liking how this is setting up. I'm liking how Tesla's setting up. But, you know, specifically, I like Meta. I like how Google's setting up. Amazon, I don't really want to touch that guy right now, right? Maybe it heads on up. It pulls back. I like it. But, you know, on this pullback we're seeing on the market, broad-based market, we're talking Meta. We're talking Microsoft. We're going to wait for buyers to step in. Last time around, I did not wait for buyers to step in. I just kind of saw daily RSI oversold. Buy. Mistake. All right. Mistake. But what's going to happen this time, guys? We're just going to literally wait for buyers to start stepping in and wait for at least that first green day here. Once we get our alert. And at that point, and you know, I want to see the previous candle high over here. Like in this case, I want to see this day. You don't get long. Like, let's look at it this way. Okay. You see this? You didn't take out your high. Okay. You want to see some sort of something change. Okay. Right here, you have a high. You came down, higher low, and then you start breaking up. You could have had this to play. Okay. And I understand things were pretty slow over here. I think we're probably going to get a quick reaction. We probably get a quick sell here and then a quick reaction to the downside. So I don't think things are going to be so groggy and slow over here this time around. That's what I'm thinking. But back over here to Meta, guys, this honestly is top watch over here on this pullback. It's, you know, we're going to light this boy up on this channel. We're talking about him. I can't believe I took off all my levels and I put the exact same levels on. But that goes to show you guys, when you see what you see, you see what you see. It's not just, you know, a chance. It's, oh, you know, that's how things work. There you go. Moving over the chips, guys, these are the things looking really heavy right now. But, you know, I'm going to point out NVDA, also top watch in this pullback. This is something I think you're going to be able to just buy time on. I think you're going to do well. I know, you know, earnings are 11.20. I don't think it's really going to matter. All right, juice premiums, I welcome them with the setup we got over on NVIDIA. I'll talk about it right after this one, all right? SMH, guys, I think you're coming down here. I think you're going to undercut that 237 low and maybe even test this 0.618 fib. It doesn't have to happen, but you did just kind of range out here in between our supply zone and this 245.58 level. If you come back up, expect sellers right here, all right? If sellers do not step in there, we're going to be watching 248.20. That's going to be the top of today's candlestick, as well as the low over here. It's not exactly the top of today's candlestick, but you can clear as they see. You got underneath your support over there. You sold. You sold. It's going to be a reaction spot. We're going to be paying attention to. Above there, you got this spot right over here, 251. All right. So that's SMH. That's how, the chip sector index is looking right now. That is the ETF that tracks all of them. And guess what? NVIDIA, guys, it's already getting a bounce. You better not freaking start bouncing, you little piece of crap. You jerk. All right. Increasing volume on today's big fat red bar. We've seen it before where you start just getting buyers immediately. But, most times that does not become the case. And, even over here, when you got that over here, you did end up going here. It took some time, but you did go to a lower low. So, I think we're going to head down here. That's what I'm looking for. I told you guys what to pay attention to. You got the signal to start being bearish on NVIDIA literally yesterday. I told you on this day right here, if you can, take out today's low. I was talking about it literally this day. If you could take out today's low tomorrow, that is when we probably are going to start taking a move down to 136. That was not the level I was watching. It was right over here. 136.15. And then underneath there, you have 131.26. What happened, guys? You did not find buyers at 136.15. You had nothing until 131.26. I have to assume you're going to come down there. All right. And the spot is going to be right there. Okay. So on this bounce, if we come back up here, first of all, you're going to have this daily 9 sitting right there. So you got your confluence spot right there. Okay. You got underneath this weekly, or not weekly, underneath the daily 21 EMA right there. Okay. That is, your 2 short-term moving average right here that you want to be respecting. You sliced underneath these guys, both of them today. You're probably going lower. All right, so 131.26, that is going to be your support. Underneath there, we have 127.67. I think one of these arrows is going to be how this plays out. We're going to have a big uptrend going on right here. You're going to have your third touch point being formed right here in the golden pocket. Maybe undercut support, just break and retest level over here at 127.67. Maybe undercut that, sweep that, come down, test the golden pocket, test that uptrend, and then put in your third touch point for that uptrend, and then get your bounce. And even if it's something like this, guys, that is a $5 to $6 move that you can play. All right, this is, a high confidence setup over here, and I will hammer the table on this guy. It's looking nice. All right, just like Meta, top watch on this pullback over here on NVIDIA. I only really want, a few of these charts over here on this pullback. I want to take my high confidence setups. I don't just want to, be going with everything across the board, because not everything is setting up like this. Okay. But, chances are, with the things that are set up like this, the market does get even the dead cat bounce. These things are going to fly. These things are going to be the things that buyers flock to, because there are the setups. And the setups are only there because algorithms control the freaking market. And there's buyer and seller psychology going on all the freaking time. All right. So the only reason we're going to see these, the buyers flock to these kinds of things instead of the thing that's not set up like this, is because this is the one with strength. All right. This is the one that just made a new all-time high. This is the one that just, already hit it with the break and retest off this level. We found buyers there, probably going to find buyers there. But if you don't, all right, you get the next best thing. You get a full-on retracement of that. And then you at least get to play that dead cat bounce. That dead cat bounce, let's just say you come down here, okay? It literally could bring you all the way back up there. Guys, this is a $10 move. That is the meat on the bone right there that you got to play. You don't need to catch the whole thing. So that's what we're going to be paying attention to over here on NVIDIA. I really like the setup. All right. TSM. Right here, guys. You are just kind of holding on to dear life over here on this 21, daily 21 EMA. The reason I like this thing, even if it didn't hold right there at the 193.47 all-time high, previous all-time high break and retest, even if it didn't hold there, you had this weekly 9 over here that was, has been supporting price for a little while now. We're probably at least going to get a reaction off of there. All right, so that's what I was going to be paying attention to, and that is, so far, that's still how things are looking. So, there's that. You kind of do have this little, it's something like that. You don't have a little downtrend to pay attention to. Nah, forget it. Forget about it. Forget about it. All right. But on the upside, if you can get back above 193.47, All right. Maybe you get a quick move up to 196.23. And from there, guys, you know, you get this little middle area right over there around 199.20, 199.66. I'm not going to be watching that. We're going to have 2 at 197, 2 at 595, 2 12.60. I do think this thing is going to run back up. You know, I'm just saying some of these things are set up to go. On this pullback, we're bullish on the pullback. I was not lying. All right. I wouldn't be talking like how I'm talking if I'm not believing what I'm saying. QQQ is in bullish structure. There's no denying it. And if you don't think that, I don't think you've had enough screen time. That's that. You can now, you know, pull back here, but you're at least going to get that dead cat bounce. You have to come all the way down here and slice under that low in order to really get this thing bearish. Like that's tough. That is going to be a big freaking move that you have to have, and they don't happen all the time. This everyone was convinced the market was crashing, and then it didn't crash. That doesn't happen all the time. We don't typically see a straight $50 to $60 move down. All right? $80 move down. What the heck am I talking? 50, 60 bucks. You just don't see these things often, guys. You don't. And that's why I say, like, you know, $50 straight down, probably not going to happen. You're probably going to get something like this, where you get a $30 to $35 move down. You get the dead cat bounce, and then you come down, and now you have the bearish structure. It is that simple. We do not need to get, you know, oh, everybody jump ship, jump ship. Oh, no, the pullback. You have a buying opportunity that's going to appear here across the board. I will point out the hot setups, like I have throughout this video, that we're going to be paying attention to on that pullback. There you go. Try and make it as easy as possible. All right. I'm still frustrated with the comments yesterday. Yes, I am. All right. AVGO. What are we looking at over on AVGO? Guys, right now, things are not looking the best, but I will remind everyone, double bottom. We did not see a move off of that double bottom breakout over here. This was a strong move over here. You clearly did find buyers, you know, 2 times in a row over here. Push you up to new high. All right. You got a new all-time high, right? Yeah, 186.42. Yeah, all right, new all-time high. This is probably going to get a higher high. It's either going to happen right here where you are at the daily 9, or you're just going to come down here, maybe test support, and then go. All right, that's how I'm seeing this. That's AVGO. AMD, which, you know, I'll actually point out, you know, the daily levels we're going to be paying attention over here on AVGO, guys. You did sweep this low over here. Underneath 169.50, we have 165.80. Underneath there, 160.41. AMD, guys, you did, I gave the thoughts yesterday. All right, bearish thoughts, yes. I said, hey, not the best idea to just go dip buying over here. The thing normally likes to have some continuation once it has a big earnings sell. What happened? You got that continuation. You found buyers, you know, temporarily off of 148.01, but then you come over here, the hourly time frame, you could see you literally hit it with the break and retest this morning. You open underneath it, rejected right there. All right, and you died. And that's how that went. Now, guys, it still doesn't look like buyers are just going to step in, but I will point out how little volume you had today compared to yesterday's big sell volume. I know yesterday was earnings. Well, you know, the day before was earnings, but into today, into that day, yesterday. All right. But yeah, all right. We're down at support. You're lowering this volume here. 143.08, that's what we're paying attention to. 141 is going to be your line in the sand. If you break under 141, I'll put a little alert right here. Give it some leeway. I'll put it at 140. Break 140, probably coming down to 132.11. Or at least you're going to start making your way down to it. So maybe we get something like this. Don't know. Don't know. Don't care. I'm not going to be trading this guy. But, you know, there is that. ARM. What happened over here, guys? Oh, there's no reason to get, you know, really bullish over here. If you took out 158.80, you were probably going to follow one of these arrows. You did not. You sold right there. What was right there, guys? Which we definitely remind you of. Right there. And that's actually the reason I didn't want to be bullish on this thing. I wasn't going to take any of the stuff I was talking about. Why? It's not worth it. There are so many better setups. And right here, you were very clearly just, you know, retesting. You had a rising wedge. I took off the top trend line, though. But it's something like that. Yeah, something like that. All right. Regardless, you broke down. And now it you know, it's looking like you're going to break down from that one right there. So you got this little uptrend going. Here's your third touch point. Probably going to start breaking down. Break under 138.40. You got nothing till 132.80. So that move probably comes from there. All right. We're going to be looking for buyers to maybe sweep that 132.80 low, and then buyers step in and maybe bring you back into this 138.40 to 141.44 spot. MU, what do we got over here, guys? You start breaking down. All right. We pointed out. Like, this is what I'm saying. I don't know how people are clowns. I really don't understand. I lay it out so freaking plain and simple and clear. And if you just have the time to sit with me and discuss, all right, we could talk about it. All right. But they don't want to do that. They don't want to give me the time of day. They just want to sit there, watch maybe 2 to 5 minutes of my videos, and then they want to shat on me when, oh, they take a gamble and it goes the other way. Oh, guess what? We knew every single one of these charts was looking uncertain. We knew about it well ahead of time. Last week, we knew coming into this week, it was uncertain. We knew last week we were getting uncertain. Why? Because you started breaking these uptrends across the board. Like, how freaking clear can I make it, guys? I don't want to get upset because most of you guys are amazing freaking people. I appreciate you guys. All right. 98.94. Underneath there, we got the 96.18 gap fill. That is going to have the 0.618 fib sitting right underneath. In the next spot of confluence is going to be the 90.97 gap fill. And you have the 0.786 fib sitting right there. You very likely get buyers at least one of these. All right, for that at least dead cat bounce. Maybe it goes something like that. Maybe it doesn't. We don't know, but we are looking for this portion. I don't know if it's going to do that, but we're looking for this portion right here, the upside of that move. Reaction spot is going to be 96.18 and 90.97. That is what you pay attention to. I will put the alert down here just so I know about it. Yeah, we'll see it. All right, so those are the chips, guys. Now, what are we going to talk about? We're talking about some Bitcoin. All right, Bitcoin is retesting where it just broke out from. All right, you did not get a new all-time high, but the fact that you got so close. I know QQ almost, got really close to a new all-time high within like $3, and then it faded. Sometimes you see these happen, but we do know these are going to be buying opportunities. What I can also point out is you get this little uptrend going on right here. You don't want to break that uptrend. You want to hold right here where you are. If you break the uptrend, I have to assume you're probably going lower, and maybe we retrace this whole move. There's going to be that. All right, so, I don't know how this is going to go. I really don't. We found buyers off the break and retest over here. Now we're breaking retesting off of, the next breakout spot there, and you have the uptrend, and you have the daily 9. And we definitely have confluence for buyers to step back into the equation. I do have to assume we are going to be, moving back up here. We're just going to take off that little clutter there. Yeah, those equal highs, so that's why we were paying attention to what happened. They weren't respected, and, we almost put in a new all-time high. So on this move, guys, we are, looking for, on this pullback, buyers to step back in. It's either going to be right here, or it's probably going to be right over here around 64,444. 64K, 444 schmeckles. That is what we're going to be paying attention to. So we're looking for buyers over here, guys. It's either going to be down here, it's going to be down here. We're looking for a new all-time high. I do have to assume this time around, since the miners did not participate last time, I do have to assume the crypto stocks are going to be participating. So let's talk about them. Coin, big, red, ugly day today. Not the best look by any means. You will have this uptrend to be paying attention to. We're going to put it right there. Break down from that uptrend, and I do have to assume we're going to be retracing this move here. Is Coin going to be giving the biggest buying opportunity? Probably. Right here at this uptrend. I think this is where it is right here. If you break down, all right, not saying if you buy here, start breaking down, I don't think you have anything to worry about. I would straight up be risking right over here. But if you start breaking down from this uptrend, maybe you just get a dead cat bounce, and then maybe you sell for break even. That's how I would be looking at that. If you just come down here, you're buying time on these things. You're not going to take too big of a loss here. We're buying, I'm talking December, January contracts. Now that we have earnings out of the way, I think it's the best decision to play with time over here on these miners, guys. I mean, Coin isn't a miner. It's, just the exchange. But let's be completely real. This is where, a lot of people are going to be buying the Bitcoin, and I assume it's going to be moving with Bitcoin. If Bitcoin's still looking that bullish right there and it looks like it's about to run up to all-time highs after this pullback is done, then this thing is probably going to be doing the same thing. So that's what we're going to be paying attention to. All right. Support 176.15. You got the 0.618 fib there. That's your break and retest level right here. That's where you really started getting explosive. Okay. And that's where we're paying attention to over on coin. And then, if you can't hold 162, we're just going to say break under 162. We have 146.12 right over there, which actually I'm just going to put this support right there. Break under 160, you have 146.12. Sometimes over on coin specifically, I've seen that 0.786 fib get, ran. It's like, a stop loss hunt right there. And then it bounces right back. So under 160, 146.12. Upside, we're watching 192.45. We're going to change the level. Upside, we're watching 194.60 and then 207.71. And there we go. MSTR, guys. How the heck? I have no idea. No idea, guys. How is coin down 15% and MSTR is only down 1.14%? I don't know. Because it's the master, guys. The master micro strategy. All right. They announced that they pretty much announced over the next year they're going to be doing 40 billion in offerings. I'm pretty, if I'm interpreting that right, they were going to be raising $43 billion or whatever I saw. That only can come from offerings, or if they have private investors, which I highly doubt it's going to be that. I think they're probably just going to be doing offerings. So, we could be seeing this thing get pretty volatile this upcoming year. Just a reminder, guys. All right, just a reminder. Just another reminder. Bitcoin's run really, I don't think has really started. I know it's kind of crazy because it's a fresh all-time highs, but guys, we've been waiting for this breakout for a very long time. Look at this weekly chart. I may have gotten pretty excited pretty quick there, and I thought the miners were going to at least participate in this move up to it. We nailed the Bitcoin move. We did not nail the miner move. Not even freaking close. So there's that. But hey, that's why I say I think you buy with time on this dip here on the miners and the crypto stocks. I think you're going to have a really good time over the next like 1 to 2 months. I think Bitcoin's going to be busting a really big move. All I'm saying is if I know people in my life that know nothing about all of this stuff. If they are thinking it's a good idea to start buying up here, we're now just seeing the beginning stages of the media picking this up. Guys, the beginning stage of the media picking this up was probably somewhere over here. All right. It was already, I remember this, and it was already moving and grooving. Okay. But it still had a lot of freaking movement after that. I want to say around like 30K. That's when I really remember, oh my God, the thing was just crazy. I remember seeing the media and I was like, oh, everyone's going to lose their money. It just kept going straight up. All right. I had crypto friends and they kept going straight up. Okay. These things can happen, guys. FOMO will kick. And I don't think that FOMO's here yet. But I definitely just saw in my personal life, I saw the first sign, clear as day sign, of someone who has no idea about this stuff, put a large sum of money into this stuff, a large sum of money. We're talking about 6 figures into this stuff, has no idea about it at all. Thinks it's a great idea to buy all-time highs, even though we knew this whole thing was probably going to be your buying opportunity. If you want to buy, you bought in the flag. You don't buy right at the highs when it didn't even break out yet. All right, so yeah, just my 2 cents, all right? But this person now thinks it's a great idea to hold for 10 years. So, people are really getting convinced that all that quick because the media is putting spotlight on it. Guys, the FOMO has not started. It's about to start, but it has not started. This thing is going to heat up. All right? So we're going to come back over to MSTR. I'm going to point out you have an ugly weekly candlestick. We can't see a pullback here, all right? But right now, you're still above that daily 9. You did not really sell off those earnings here. We're not even talking about the daily 9. All right. It has been supporting price action for a very long time here. All right. You got, 1 reaction, 2 reaction, 3, 4, 5. Now you have a 6. Okay. We know that's the spot to watch, but if you really start breaking down from that, we're looking for a bigger buying opportunity over here on MSTR. And I think that is something that wouldn't be the worst idea to take. This thing's very clearly participated in Bitcoin's rally better than the other ones. And if you want to play the move I just spoke about, I think this is going to be the best one to play it with, this and coin. All right, so MSTR, watching for that $200 retest. That is going to be your major previous all-time high break and retest, okay? I don't think we got something like this going on very clearly. You have different action going on here. We ranged out for a while, unlike this sloppy mess. All right, you had a little inverse head and shoulders pattern over here, but as you can see, you completely broke down from that. retested the bottom of that range, and then died. Right here, you get the exact opposite. You are now pushing up. And with Bitcoin looking like that, this thing's going higher. $300 probably coming at some point. Mara, all right. Ugly weekly candlestick we just took a look at. You know, I'm just saying you're back down here to your 1672, the top of this range where you get a false breakout. Then you know, finally did break out. You really never got the move I was looking for over here on Mara. All right. You had a false breakout over here. Just like over here, you got false breakout right here. I don't know what to say about these things, guys. All right, we nailed the Bitcoin move. We definitely did not nail the crypto miner move. Not even freaking close. Not even close. I will not deny. But now you're back down to another confluence spot, 1672 support, as well as this 0.618 fib. If you cannot hold 1580, these are the supports you're paying attention to. And, you know, at that point, we have the larger golden pocket, which probably is going to hold. If this one doesn't hold, you probably hold the larger one, which is going to be somewhere down here. Okay. Which actually, that starts at the 0.786 fib smaller one. So, hey, high confluence spot over there, right here around, you know, 1575-ish, right over there. That's what we're watching on Mara. TSLA, all right. Oof. Probably coming down here. You know, I was looking at early in the day. I think this thing is going to find a higher low over here. It's probably going to be here in the golden pocket. All right. And you're coming down pretty close to it already. So I'm just going to say over here, 975. That's the confluence level I'm watching. That's in the golden pocket. It technically starts at $10 over there, the 0.618 fib. But, you know, 975, that's where you have actual support there. You have the top of this previous range. Same false breakout, just like Mara, got sucked back into it. And then you finally had your breakout. All right. So that's a level I think is going to be respected at 975. That's what I'm paying attention over on CLSK. I think on this dip, I think it's a buying opportunity. But as you can see, we have earnings over here. So if you want to buy some time, guys, you buy coin, you buy MSTR. CLSK will have juice premiums if you go past December. The December 20 monthly OPEX is not going to be the best move right here. You're going to have to go a little before it, or you're going to have to go after it and just have probably, you know, 100% plus, you know, IV on those premiums. You don't want to have that. There you go. All right. So those are the crypto miners, guys. That is the gist of the video. Now we're going to go over some trade ideas that we're just going to be paying attention to, guys. So I was actually originally looking for buyers to defend over here right at 75.40. You had the 0.786 fibs in there. You did break down off of earnings from this uptrend. It was very clearly here. You broke down from it. And now I do have to assume you're coming down to 67.12. All right. So if you retest this zone up here, guys, probably going to find sellers. And then, you know, from that point, we're going to be looking for further downside. Underneath 71.90, you have 69.87, which was today's low. And then you come down to 67.12. This is not something that gives me confidence that we're just going to be sprouting back up. This is something that suggests I'm also actually going to put this on right here. All right. So dead cat bounce initiated. All right. That's what's going on. Nah. All right. Yeah. Yes, dead cat bounce. I think you're going to, you know, maybe bounce a little back. Maybe you come over here. I think it's going to find sellers. I think you're coming all the way down here at 67.12. So that's what I'm paying attention to over on Uber. DLT, this is, I think it's about to start waking up. That's just my opinion there. Just my opinion I share on this channel. All right. But, you know, I pointed this out the other day. You got this little inverse head and shoulders pattern. You came right down to your support. You're in the golden pocket. You know, pretty similar setup to where we were over here. This was the golden pocket right over there. You had this little base over there. You got this little, like, literally, look, it's the same thing. Same inverse head and shoulders pattern. If you want to see it, right here. It's kind of the same thing. All right. So I know it's taken some time, guys. And this is what I was saying at the beginning of the video. We talk about the daily charts all the time, guys. These are the daily charts. These are not going to be playing out immediately. It is what it is. The market does not go up straight up. It does not go straight down. It is what it is. I can't control it. You can't control it. Why are you going to get butthurt about it? Why am I going to get butthurt about it? We can't. The only thing we could, like, people say manipulation. I'm going to tell you right now, the whole market is manipulated. And the only thing that moves price is a bigger buyer than the other people. Okay, that person is manipulating price in their direction. There's nothing else to this market, guys. Do not be the person sitting there screaming manipulation, because you will never succeed in this market. And I don't want to tell no one they'll never succeed at anything. But I'm telling you right now, you keep that mentality, you never learn. You never feel the pain. You never take the responsibility for yourself. You never put in the screen time you need to figure these charts out and how they function. Okay? That's what it is. Go pick your ticker. You know, what I've picked is the NASDAQ, right? QQQ and NQ. That's what I've focused on for years. I mean, NQ, you know, just this year. But, you know, for years, QQ's been my baby. I know how that bad boy functions. Okay? And that is why we do what we do on NQ. Pick it, and you're going to see, yes, manipulation, but we see the same patterns over and over and over again. Just pick your ticker. I promise you're going to have a good time that way. All right? 4 hour bullish divergence. Very clearly starting up over here. You had the same thing going on over there. Okay? So not only are you in the golden pocket, you got something like that going on over there. Just a bunch of consolidation down there. I understand you took out that low, right? So you actually have a little bit over here. Okay? You have a bullish divergence right there on the 4 hour RSI. But right here, you have a massive one. I have to assume this thing's probably going to spring back up at some point. We're going to head for these gaps. All right, I think you're about to come to 93.86. The fact that, you know, you opened lower than this candlestick right there, or like right at the lows, and you didn't continue back down, I like that. I don't like how you're underneath that daily 9. I want to see that reclaimed. But, you know, at the end of the day, you do definitely just have this inverse head and shoulders pattern. The neckline is going to be 92.98. Get above 92.98. Probably get a quick pop up to 93.86. That's that. Disney. All right. You have earnings coming up. So those premiums are juice. Keep that in mind. But you held your uptrend. This is actually the, you know, uptrend I pointed out. Coming into the week, this is one of the, you know, major trade ideas that I told you guys I was going to be focused on. And I'm just saying, yeah, this thing still looks like it can move. I just want to see you pop above this high, and then I think we probably can play, you know, shorter dated contracts here so we don't get this theta. That I mean, now next week's contracts, not this week's. The move didn't happen this week. It's now Friday, and you stayed in the freaking flag. All right, you're either going to break this uptrend, start breaking down, or you're going to break up. Now, you can have your false breakout here, but if you take out this high, you're probably going to, you know, see the next resistance come into play. So that is the move. That is the meat on the bone right there that I would like you guys to focus on if you're going to be taking this trade idea. There you go. Okay? I was originally looking at you to, you know, bust to the upside up here. I was looking same thing as this over here. You could have your false breakup, but, you know, when you make that higher high, that's when you're probably going to start getting that continuation. I was looking for a break above 22.85. You didn't end up getting that. You got really close, 22 like 50-ish. And then you broke down and you hit it with the break and a retest. And now the thing that was support and price, 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, a 5, you found a 1, a 2, a 3 rejections already. You're probably going to undercut this 1945 low and then come down here to 1836. 1836 is the level that I want you guys to pay attention to if you are playing this guy. All right. You have earnings come over here, so premiums will be juice. So if you come down here before earnings and you decide to take it, just know you have juice premiums. And I would say at that point, it is best to, play with time there, or, take a smaller size position with less time on it, just because you don't know what's going to happen off earnings, guys. You really don't. But it's definitely a very sexy setup over here. And, I'm just going to reference Goog. This was a sexy setup as well going into, earnings, and it did have that expected move to the upside. Okay. Not the expected implied options move. I am talking about, my, bias. I was saying this was the only chart besides Meta's weekly chart. This was the only chart going into earnings that I had a clear bullish bias on. And then I pointed out Meta as well. And what do we have over here on the weekly time frame? You're bouncing off of this weekly 9. Okay. Little did I know. You were looking like you're going to want to fade down here and give us a massive buying opportunity. I was looking to not take advantage of this. But what happens if you give us the big buying opportunity? Like, literally, this is the weekly time frame, guys. Come down to the weekly 21. Just like here, just like here, just like here, just like here. Give it to us. Do it. Give it to us.
That was easy.
There we go. All right? Like, this is why I just don't understand. How are people clowns in the comments, dude? There's not a channel like this. There's not. I put so much time and effort into this, and people have larger channels. And I really don't understand. I don't get it. But maybe they've just been here longer on the platform. Maybe they just, engagement farm. And I don't. And I just try and be factual. No freaking clue. All right? No clue. It is what it is. All right, last one we're paying attention to over here is Upstart. Upstart, I'm not sure if it's going to hold right here. You are right on the daily 21. So, you know, it's a two-way setup right here. You are definitely, you know, consolidating in a bullish manner above over here, guys. Typically when you're pulling back, all right, all grindy like that, this is typically the counter trend move. All right, you had your impulsive move. This is the counter trend move. Doesn't really matter if you break down from here, come down and test 45.71 right here at your uptrend. You got one touch point, you got two, you have 3, 4, 5. That is your uptrend to pay attention to. That is probably where you get a reaction off of. And then you also have your break and retest level off of 45.71 right here. Probably get, you know, maybe a sweep there, and then you start your move up. All right, so keep it on your radar if you'd like. This is another one just like you, though, that has earnings. I think they actually have earnings on the same exact day. So, yeah, on the 7th there. That's something to keep in mind if you are playing these things. All right, guys, I do hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I'm sorry if I ran it a little bit. I am sorry. I am human. And, you know, as time goes by and as I become like a 30 and 35-year-old and, you know, later on in my life, I'm 25. Later on in my life, I probably will just, you know, get over looking at the comments altogether and all that stuff and leave them alone. But for the time being, I'm going to be honest. All right. If you crap on me in the comments and you have absolutely no good reason to do so, and you're not offering constructive criticism, I don't want to just be the guy who just blocks all the comments. I can do that. I just don't. So I react to them. I probably shouldn't do that either. Probably should leave them be or block them. I don't really know what the best move there is. You know, but I do send my apologies. I know, you know, 99.9% of you guys are absolutely freaking amazing people. So I am sorry to clutter the video with, you know, me just ranting about that 0.1% that really doesn't even matter to us. So I am sorry, guys. I'm sorry about that. But I do hope you enjoyed, you know, the vast majority of that video. 5% of the video was actual factual information that you guys can use to benefit your trading and your market experience. And I hope you guys see it that way, because that is as it is intended. If you guys did enjoy this video and you have anybody in your life that you think would benefit from these kinds of videos, I do post a, you know, daily market update Monday through Friday. I am actually going to be stepping away from doing the Friday videos. I don't know if people like the intraday updates. I might just do like Friday intraday live streams or something like that as I'm trading. I really don't know. But, you know, I don't see the purpose in doing the Friday update unless it's the intraday video, which I don't think people like. I see more people leave when I post these Friday intraday updates than, you know, come. And then I talk about the same exact stuff after everything's closed anyway, Saturday or Sunday morning. I just don't think there's a reason to do that. So I might just start sticking to the Monday through Thursday daily updates. You can expect those after market close. And then, you know, maybe the intraday, you know, live stream over there on Friday. And then we have the Saturday morning update, weekly update, in which we go over 10 to 20 trade ideas going into the following week, as well as our game plan for the indices and all of these heavily traded stocks over here, guys. The stocks we cover here on this channel. If you are new to the channel, these are definitely going to be like, you know, the 20 to 25 most actively traded stocks on the, you know, stock exchange, New York Stock Exchange, and, you know, all around and what we're paying attention to. These are going to be it. All right, you can focus on low liquidity tickers, but I promise if you learn the patterns of the heavily traded tickers, you're going to have a much better time. You're going to understand market structure a lot better because you don't have a bunch of the, you know, sporadic, crazy moves that happen off some of these, you know, smaller micro caps. And, you know, just, you know, in general, let's just look at a chart like D-King. All right, guys, I have these tickers that I constantly call trade ideas out on. And I'm actually just going to, you know, I'm going to say right here. Look at that guy. Look at that guy. All right, little fallen wedge action right there. You did a little breakdown right there. Maybe if you make it like that, at that point we're just kind of making it look how we want. But you know, this is what I'm saying. You got this falling wedge patterns, picture perfect, and you're starting to break down from it. You know, like you're probably going to have a lot smoother price action on those liquid stocks that we cover every day here on the channel. So I hope you guys enjoy that. I hope you guys, you know, use this to your advantage and you see what I see with, you know, there's no reason to watch all of these other guys. We'll call out trade ideas on it when they're setting up. But other than that, don't put your attention on it. Like people are focused on GME. I actually made a post about this one the other day. This thing's a free control. Why are you going to trade this thing? don't disappoint yourself. Make your future self proud. All right. Learn the thing that has repeatable patterns. I promise there are so many freaking patterns in the stock market that repeat on a continuous basis that you can continuously play. All right. And it's not on those illiquid tickers. It's on these. All right. With that being said, I hope you guys have a lovely rest of your Halloween. We had a 1 hour and 20-minute update. Hit it with the nice chill nightly session over here. All right. How is NQ looking? Let's just see how this is looking over here. Not the best. All right. You're still just, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. You still haven't broken up above the inverse head and shoulders pattern over here, which now has turned into a freaking double bottom. Wowza. All right. Wowza. See, you know, I wasn't taking too much here. I did walk away with 550 on the day. I was kind of I was excited about that because it's a day that I wasn't even trading this downside, guys. I was continuously trying to get these well, I traded it. There was like one downside trade. It was somewhere in here. But it was literally, you know, I just kept trying to get these reversals, and you know, I wasn't even waiting. I was doing a bad thing. Right over here, I took a trade. I sold. Was it right over here? Maybe it was right over here, right? I don't know. I took it right over here, and that was the biggest trade of the day. You know, I was playing micros, and then I switched to NASDAQ at some point. Got a little nice scalp there. But yeah, I was proud. I walked away. I did not get greedy today, and I was extremely proud of myself for that. And that's why I say, guys, make that future self of yours proud. You can either make the active decisions in life to you know, walk away, like further, take a step away from your goal, or you can take the active steps and the decisions to, you know, move towards your goal. Every single decision you make, I realized this recently, every single possible decision you make, it is either walking away from your long-term goals or it is moving towards them. I realized that about a week ago, and you know, honestly, I've been treating things a little bit differently. So, hey, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.